Ladies and gentlemen, the venom in their hearts, so palpable, so deliciously bitter. Why do they hate you? Because you dared to stand. Because you dared to choose yourself. They hate you. Because you had the audacity to value your self-respect over their games, their manipulations. They despise you. Not for your flaws, but for the sheer strength it took to look them in the eye and say, no, enough is enough. They wanted you to bow. They wanted you to cower under the weight of their judgment, under the crushing force of their opinions. They wanted you to be their puppet, to play their game by their rules, but you refused. You broke free. You chose a path that was yours and yours alone, and for that, they will never forgive you. It's not about the mistakes you've made or the failures you've endured. They never cared about that. No, they despise the fact that you had the courage to rise from the ashes they tried to bury you in. They can't stomach the idea that you saw through their charade and refused to be part of it. They wanted to see you small. They wanted to see you weak. They wanted you to accept the scraps they threw your way. But you looked at them and laughed at their pitiful attempts to keep you in your place. You dared to choose yourself, and they hated you for it. They hated you because they knew the truth, deep down inside them, that you were better than they ever imagined you could be. They wanted to silence you. They wanted to diminish your worth. They wanted you to shrink back into the shadows from which you came, and they used every weapon in their arsenal to make you feel insignificant. They mocked you. They belittled you. They tried to make you doubt your worth. They tried to convince you that you weren't enough, that you didn't deserve the things you desired. But none of that worked because you stood tall and you reminded yourself that your worth was never tied to their opinions, their judgments, their shallow attempts to control you. You understood that your value came from within, not from the approval of those who never cared to see you for who you truly are. And that's why they hate you. They hate you because you saw through their lies. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you arrogant. They'll tell you that you think you're better than everyone else. They'll tell you that you're ungrateful, that you owe them something, that you should be thanking them for the opportunities they gave you. But don't be fooled by their words. Don't let them convince you that you owe them anything, because in reality, you owe them nothing. Your self-respect is not for sale. Your dignity is not something they can take from you. No matter how hard they try to pull you down, they can't touch the core of who you are. They can't take away the strength you've built, the resilience you've developed, the scars that have made you who you are today. And that's why they hate you, because they can't break you. They want to see you beg. They want to see you crawl. They want to see you apologize for standing up for yourself, for demanding better, for recognizing your worth. They want to see you doubt your own decisions, to question your choices, to regret ever standing up for your self-respect. But you know better. You know that the price of your dignity is higher than anything they can offer you. You know that no matter how many times they try to tear you down, you will rise again and again and again. You will not be shaken. You will not be moved, because you've chosen to stand for something far greater than their petty desires, their manipulative games, their toxic approval. You've chosen to stand for your own self-respect, and for that alone, they will never forgive you. But why should you care? Why should you let their venom seep into your soul? Why should you allow their hatred to steal your peace? You've already paid the price. You've already walked through fire and come out stronger. On the other side, their venom is nothing more than a reflection of their own insecurity, their own self-loathing, their own fear that one day someone like you will come along and remind them that they are weak, they are small, they are nothing without the power they try to exert over others. They see you as a threat to their fragile egos. They see you as someone who refuses to be a part of the system they've built to keep people in line, and they can't stand it. Because deep down, they know you're right. They know that your self-respect is worth more than all the games they play. They know that your courage to stand up for yourself is a force that they can never match. But let me tell you something about strength, about power, about the price of self-respect. The price is high, yes, but the rewards are greater than anything you could ever imagine. The power you gain when you stand for yourself, the confidence you build when you refuse to back down, the peace you find when you stop living for the approval of others. It is a freedom that few will ever experience, because most will choose to live in the shadows of fear and insecurity. Most will choose to sell their souls for the fleeting approval of those who will never love them for who they truly are, but not you. You chose a different path. You chose the hard path, the path of integrity, the path of self-respect. And for that, you are powerful beyond measure. Understand this. The venom they spit at you is nothing but a reflection of their own weakness, their inability to stand up for themselves, their inability to break free from the chains they've allowed to bind them. They hate you because you remind them of everything they could have been, but chose not to be. They hate you because you had the strength to reject the roles they tried to assign you, the labels they tried to put on you, the expectations they tried to force on you. They hate you because you remind them that it's possible to choose yourself, to live a life that is authentic to who you are, to refuse to be a puppet for anyone. And that's why they'll never stop hating you, because your very existence challenges their narrative, their comfort zone, their idea of what it means to succeed. But you must never let that hatred affect you. Never let it cause you to second-guess yourself. Never let it make you question your choices, because you know the truth deep down inside of you. You know that standing up for your self-respect was the right decision. You know that choosing yourself was the only way to preserve your dignity, your soul, your very essence, and no amount of venom, no amount of hatred can ever take that away from you. They may try to drag you down. They may try to paint you as the villain, but you know the truth. You know that in the end, the person who stands tall and refuses to bow is the one who will always win, the one who will always have the last word, the one who will always be remembered. So stand proud, stand firm, let the venom they spew bounce off of you like water off a duck's back. Don't let it sink into your skin. Don't let it stain your heart, because you are stronger than their hatred. You are more powerful than their games. You are the embodiment of self-respect, and that is a force that cannot be defeated. They can try, they can plot, they can scheme, but in the end you will always rise above them because you chose to stand. And that is the choice that makes all the difference. In a world where mediocrity is rewarded and compliance is celebrated, where the ones who bend, the ones who fold under pressure are elevated, your decision to stand, to refuse to be part of the system that breeds weakness and submission, is a revolution in itself. They will try to make you feel small for making this choice, for daring to stand out. But let me tell you, standing is the boldest statement you can make in this life. It is not just an action, it is a declaration. It is an unwavering message to the world that you are not afraid to be who you are, to value your worth, and to fight for your place in this world. Standing up, choosing yourself, valuing your self-respect, these are not choices made lightly. They are not made out of vanity or ego, but out of necessity. It is the necessity of survival, the necessity of not being crushed under the weight of other people's expectations and manipulations. It's about preserving the very core of your being, keeping intact the dignity that has been earned through battles fought, mistakes made, lessons learned. And yet, they hate you for it. They hate that you saw through their lies, that you recognized the chains they tried to place on you. They hate that you chose freedom over their approval, that you saw through the illusion of their power and stood tall anyway. They hate you because they know they cannot control you. Not now, not ever. The venom they send your way is a reflection of their envy, their fear, their inability to comprehend the strength it takes to choose yourself. They will tell you that you are selfish, that you are arrogant, that you are ungrateful for the chances they gave you, the opportunities they placed in front of you. But you know better, don't you? You know that your self-respect is priceless, that your dignity cannot be bought, and that your worth is not determined by anyone else's standards, but your own. They may try to convince you otherwise, to make you feel guilty for valuing yourself, but their words are nothing more than the noise of people who cannot handle the power you have over your own life. They cannot handle your independence, your strength, and your ability to refuse to be anything other than exactly who you are. The hatred they direct at you is their own struggle with insecurity. They wish they had your courage to stand, to be unapologetic, to walk through the world with their head held high and their heart unwavering. They despise you because you made the hard choice, the choice to protect your soul, to preserve your integrity in a world that constantly seeks to strip people of their dignity. They want you to fold, to give in to the pressure, to play the game by their rules, but you chose a different path. You chose the path of self-respect, and that is why they will never forgive you. They will never forgive you because with every step you take in that direction, you expose their own cowardice, their own fear, and their own unwillingness to live authentically. They want you to question your decisions, to second-guess the path you've taken, but you must stand firm. Your self-respect is non-negotiable, your dignity is not for sale, and your freedom is too precious to be compromised. They cannot take these things from you because they do not understand their value. They cannot comprehend the strength it takes to walk away from their games, from their manipulations, from their toxic approval. But you understand. You understand that the cost of your self-respect is high, but the rewards are far greater than anything they can offer you. You understand that the peace you feel when you are true to yourself, when you are standing in your own power, is worth more than any fleeting validation they may try to give you. There are times, of course, when the weight of their words, the venom they spread, seems almost unbearable. It's hard not to feel the sting, especially when it comes from those who were once close to you, those who once claimed to care about you. But you must remind yourself that their venom is not about you. It's about them. It's about their inability to deal with your strength, their inability to accept the fact that you are not like them, that you refuse to bend, refuse to shrink, to fit their mold. Their venom is born from their own fear of being exposed for the fragile, insecure beings they are. They despise your confidence because it reminds them of everything they lack. They resent your clarity because it exposes the chaos that lies within their own hearts. They are angry at your independence because it shows them that they have allowed themselves to be controlled for too long. But let me tell you this, do not let their venom sway you. Do not let their hatred make you doubt your worth. You are stronger than their words, more powerful than their criticisms, more resilient than their attempts to break you. The reason they hate you is not because you are wrong, but because you are right. You are right to value yourself. You are right to demand more. You are right to choose a life of integrity, authenticity, and self-respect. They will never be able to take that from you because they cannot take what they do not have. And yet, as much as they hate you for your strength, they will also envy you. There is a deep, burning envy in their hearts because they see in you what they have never had the courage to pursue. They see in you the freedom they have always desired, but never dared to chase. They wish they could be as strong as you, but instead of seeking their own path, they try to drag you back down to their level. They want you to be as afraid as they are, as small as they feel, because in their minds, your strength highlights their weakness. But you know the truth. You know that your strength, your courage, and your self-respect are not threats to others. They are gifts to yourself. And no one can ever take those gifts away from you, no matter how much venom they pour into the world. They will try to isolate you. They will try to make you feel like an outcast, like you don't belong, like you are somehow less than everyone else, because you chose to stand. But the truth is, you are not an outcast. You are a warrior. You are a warrior who understands the price of true freedom, the price of living a life without compromise. You are someone who is willing to fight for your self-respect, for your dignity, for the peace that comes from being true to yourself. And in a world that constantly tries to make people conform, to make people shrink into boxes, that kind of strength is rare and it is precious. So, let them hate you. Let them try to break you. Let them throw their venom your way, because every word they speak, every attempt they make to tear you down, will only make you stronger. You are not like them. You do not bend. You do not fold. You do not apologize for who you are, and that is why you will always rise above them. You will always rise because you are the one who has chosen to stand. You have chosen to defend your self-respect, to protect your soul, and to refuse to let anyone define your worth but yourself. You see, when they try to tear you down, when they try to pull you back into the pit of their misery, they only expose themselves. They expose their own lack of courage, their own inability to stand for anything. They expose their own fear of being judged, their own insecurity about what others might think. But you stand with your head high, with your heart strong, and with your spirit unbroken. You are not afraid to be who you are, to live your truth, to walk your own path. And that is why they will never win. They will never break you. They will never diminish you, no matter how hard they try, because you have chosen to stand. And that, my friends, is a choice that makes all the difference. It is not just a choice in the moment, but a choice that defines who you are in every fiber of your being. It's a decision that echoes through the chambers of your heart and mind, shaping the way you view the world, the way you respond to adversity, and the way you interact with the people around you. When you choose to stand, you choose not just for today, but for every tomorrow that is yet to come. You make a statement to the world, to everyone who looks at you, that you are someone who cannot be swayed, someone who will not be manipulated, someone who will not shrink back in the face of the world's demands. You understand, don't you, that standing is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, endurance, and a fierce sense of self-worth. You have to be willing to endure the blows, to stand firm in the face of criticism, rejection, and yes, even hatred. But the thing is, standing becomes easier the longer you do it. Every time you refuse to back down, every time you choose yourself over the lies they feed you, every time you defend your self-respect against their venom, it gets easier. The strength you build, the clarity you gain, the peace you feel from standing in your own truth becomes a fortress around you, impervious to the poison they try to inject into your soul. And they will try, won't they? They will try to make you feel like you're not enough, like you're not worthy of standing in your own power, in your own self-respect. They will make you feel like your choices are selfish, like you are somehow in the wrong for prioritizing yourself. But that's exactly what they want. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to second-guess every step you take, every decision you make. Why? Because it makes them feel better about their own inability to stand. It makes them feel better about the fact that they have chosen the easier path, the path that requires no confrontation, no self-examination, no sacrifice. They want to drag you back down with them, to pull you into their world of mediocrity and submission. Because the truth is, your strength reminds them of their own weakness. It reminds them of the power they could have had if only they had the courage to stand, if only they had the courage to choose themselves. but they didn't. They chose to follow the rules, to play the game, to be part of the system that controls people like cattle. They chose to give in to fear, and now they want to make you feel guilty for choosing differently, for choosing to preserve your self-respect. But you know better, don't you? You know that the price of your dignity is worth more than anything they can offer you. There will be times when you'll feel the weight of their judgments more than others. There will be moments when their venom seems to pierce deeper than you ever thought possible. But remember this, their venom is nothing more than a reflection of their own fears, their own insecurities, and their inability to cope with the strength you possess. You, who have chosen to stand, are a mirror to them, reminding them of everything they are not, everything they have not yet dared to become, and that terrifies them. So they lash out. They try to poison your spirit, to make you doubt your worth, to make you regret your decision to stand. But do not allow their poison to seep into your soul. Do not let their fear control your actions. You are stronger than their hatred. You are more powerful than their words. The venom they direct at you is a desperate attempt to pull you back into the place where they live, a place of insecurity, doubt, and conformity. But you have already chosen a different path. You have chosen to break free. You have chosen to live your life on your terms, to walk your own path, to honor your own worth. That choice is not easy, but it is the only choice that will allow you to live authentically, to live in a way that is true to who you are, and that is what makes all the difference. As you continue to stand, as you continue to choose yourself over their games, you will notice something remarkable happening. You will begin to feel a deep sense of peace that only comes when you are true to yourself. The world may not always understand you, but you will understand yourself. You will know that you have made the right decision, that you have chosen the right path, no matter how difficult or painful it may be. And over time, that peace will grow. It will become a part of you, an unshakable foundation upon which you build the rest of your life. There will be those who will try to tear you down, who will try to convince you that you are wrong for standing, wrong for choosing yourself. But let them try, because the more they try, the more they expose their own flaws, their own weaknesses. They cannot touch you. They cannot touch your spirit, your strength, or your courage. They can only try to diminish it, but in the process, they will only make it stronger. You will stand tall, unyielding, unwavering in your resolve. And one day, when they look at you, they will see what they could have been if they had only had the courage to stand like you. But remember, this journey is not about them. It's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about you. It's about you choosing yourself every single day, choosing your self-respect over their approval, choosing your peace over their chaos. It's about you standing in your power and refusing to let anyone diminish it. It's about living a life that is true to who you are, regardless of the pressure to conform, to shrink, to give in to their demands. You do not live for them, you live for yourself. And in doing so, you show the world what it means to live with dignity, with integrity, and with strength. In the end, it's not their approval that will bring you happiness. It's not their validation that will make you whole. It's not their opinion of you that will define your worth. Your worth has already been established by the very fact that you chose to stand. Your worth is in your self-respect, in your ability to look at the world and say, I will not be manipulated. I will not be controlled. I will not be diminished. I am enough, and I will stand for myself, no matter what. That is where your true power lies. That is what makes all the difference. You may not always get the recognition you deserve. You may not always be celebrated for your strength, for your courage, for your ability to stand when everyone else is bending. But that doesn't matter. Because in the end, you will know that you have lived your life on your own terms. You will know that you have honored yourself in ways that most people will never understand. You will know that your self-respect is something that cannot be taken from you, no matter how hard they try. And so, as you continue on this journey, as you continue to stand, hold your head high. Know that your choice is the most powerful choice you could ever make. Know that every moment you choose yourself, every moment you defend your self-respect, you are becoming more of who you were meant to be. You are becoming the person who will not be broken, who will not be swayed, who will not be controlled by the venom others try to inject into your spirit. You are becoming a force to be reckoned with, a living testament to the power of standing for what you believe in. And that, my friends, is a legacy that will never be forgotten. So stand tall, stand proud, stand unbroken, and know that your choice to stand, to choose yourself, to value your self-respect above all else, is the choice that will make all the difference. The world may try to knock you down, but you will rise again. You will always rise because you have chosen to stand. And that choice, my friends, is the one that will define your life, your legacy, and your destiny. In the end, the choice to stand, to defend your self-respect, is the most powerful decision you can make. It defines who you are and shapes the path you walk. While others may try to tear you down, your strength and unwavering commitment to yourself will always prevail. Stand tall, embrace your worth, and never compromise on the integrity that fuels your soul. Because in a world full of uncertainty, your decision to choose yourself is the foundation upon which true freedom and peace are built. This, my friends, is what truly makes all the difference.